Final Nights is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game created by Jelly Liam. At the time, whenever making this game though, he was just known as Liam Jolly. Final Nights was first released on January 27th of 2016 as a demo. And then the full game came out sometime just a month later, sometime in February of 2016. Unfortunately though, the demo only contained one night and the full game only contained two. However, both of the nights being very unique to each other. So today, this also marks the very beginning of a very underappreciated FNAF fan game series. So sit back, relax, and just enjoy listening to my in-depth analysis of the Final Nights games. So upon opening the game, we are immediately greeted with the main menu. So no opening cutscene right before main menu or anything, but not all FNAF fan games have that, and well, it's not really that normal, especially on today's standards, but this is 2016 standards, so, and it was pretty much the same in terms of this. Anyways, so obviously this is going to be the quickest segment I'm going to be going over, because, well, it's just the main menu. There's never really much you can do in main menus other than select nights and such. Okay, anyways, so at the main menu, all you can do is just either change the settings if you need to. Now, honestly, this main menu isn't really anything special. All it really is just some weird purple kind of smoke. I don't know, maybe that signifies purple guy? I've never really known, but maybe you guys do. If, well, we don't actually never have confirmation. Jelly Liam, at the time known as Liam Jolly, never told us exactly what. But it's a small thing, and it isn't really nothing to worry about. But if you guys have theories as to what that weird purple smoke or whatever might be, let me know. Could it be some sort of signal or foreshadow for later on in the series? Well, maybe. So back to the rest of the cover of the main menu. The Fredbear also just so happens to look weirdly unrealistic. Like, it doesn't really look like an animatronic, if anything. It obviously we can all tell it's Fredbear because of the color and everything. Very easily recognizable character in the FNAF lore, but it oddly reminds me of the Final Nights 4 menu, which I'll make a video on Final Nights 4 eventually, of course, too, later on in the series. Anyways, so yeah. That's really all to mention, other than the really strange fact that if you press your W key on your keyboard, then, well, the Fredbear will oddly shake a little bit, which I find very strange. And I watched another retrospective by some guy known as Plain Trace on YouTube. I've seen some of his stuff before. Pretty cool dude. Check him out. Anyways, no promo by the way. But he felt, whenever I once watched his retrospective about a year or two ago, I remember he felt the exact same way, and I remember him basically explaining how he didn't really think that there was a specific reason for this, and that it was just so random, and he didn't understand why it was there, which I agree. 100% I agree. But anyways, yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much all to do with the menu. And, well, but overall, let me just give it a rating right quick, I guess. Because unlike a lot of, in-depth analysis FNAF fan game, YouTubers, I guess that's how you could call them, I like to also rate the main menus, because, well, the main menus are also the very first way of pretty much saying how much quality of a game that you're about to get into, I guess is how you can put it. And it looks like, from the quality, it looks like we're going to get into a pretty okay experience. But I don't know that exactly. This was early 2016, and a lot of early 2016 FNAF fan games were, well, to put it in simply, no offense, but they were really bad. Holy heck, were they really bad. But, well, hopefully, judging by this main menu, this game should be pretty okay for early 2016. So, let's go ahead and get into the first night, which is just simply called the prologue. Can't wait to see what this has to offer. Now, immediately after we seem to click the button for the first night, we are then loaded into a cutscene. This is how the cutscene plays out.
Something isn't right here. He's here! He didn't seem to like my flashlight all too much.
After that cutscene, the rest of the night is just average sit and survive FNAF-style horror games type stuff. However, this time there's only one threat in this night. That being a animatronic that is called the Brother. The Brother is basically just another way of saying a older model, a puppet, that basically just answers the question, what if there was an alternative universe where the victim of the Bite of 83, William Afton's youngest son, instead possessed Puppet instead of the head of Golden Freddy? Well, the universe of Final Nights explains that. You don't get it? Well, if you haven't understood already, the Brother is possessed by the crying child. However, he's not going to be active at night 2, because like I mentioned during the intro of this video, night 2 it's quite the bit different from night 1. In pretty much every way possible. But yeah. And well, let me just go ahead and explain most of the night while the gameplay for the night plays in the background. This night is probably going to be the shortest night out of the 2. The reason why I say probably is because this one is timed. The other one is not so much, and actually just depends on how long you take to complete it. Well, you'll understand what I mean by those words in just a few minutes when we get to night 2. However, this night is 6 minutes long, with each minute counting as an hour in this night. And, well, the mechanics for defeating the Brother are all pretty simple. There's only 4. So, as you can see in this gameplay, in front of you there is a TV. In the front 2 left and right corners of you, there are 2 doors. One leads to outside, and one supposedly leads to a hallway in the house. And also, if you look behind you, which is a possible mechanic in this game, there's a little connected kitchen and dining room area. Now, continue to have those areas locked in your head, because believe it or not, all 4 of these areas in the TV, they're all important. Because, well, these are all actually important to help stop the Brother from getting into our house and killing us, ultimately. Now, every now and then, the TV will turn on with the Brother's face on it. Now, all you have to do is just press the right key on your keyboard to make Michael. Yes, it's confirmed in this game that you're playing as Michael Afton in this game, by the way, in both nights. Yet again, both of those words will make more sense when I get to night 2. Because, well, yet again, just hold on to those set of words, because, well, yet again, in this case, those set of words will make more sense whenever I get to night 2 of this game. But, and then, well, for the second mechanic is for the left door. The puppet will be able to appear on your left door. And I never said this just yet, but you're given a flashlight in this game. However, you're going to use your flashlight a lot of the time. However, yeah, in which you're going to use the flashlight on the right door, aka said door, because every now and then, you guessed it, the brother will appear from that door, just hanging out, just hanging straight out from the door, just chilling. And well, you have to shine your flashlight at him from there to make him go away. And then there's the left door. From there, well, it's basically the same thing, but you shine your flashlight the left door. So yeah, nothing really that different over there. And then there's what's behind you. In one of the kitchen cabinets, only one of them though, thankfully, the puppet will crawl out of it every now and then. And well, you have to use your flashlight to shine it at him from behind you. So the only part of this night that has a different mechanic is the TV area. Now, I'd give it props for this game for being somewhat polished-ish, and also for this game looking very realistic. But, if you want me to be honest, due to the lack of unique mechanics, this night felt very repetitive for me. The reason why I never show my gameplay is because, well, I have to be more focused on playing the game and not recording, because if I actually focus more on recording, I'm most likely to die. I'm not really that good at video games than other people are. So it's a lot more likely to die. So I just like to use other people's playthrough of the games. So yeah, credit to the YouTuber known as More Timer for all of the footage I'm using for today's video. Anyways, yeah. And then, well, for the next 6 minutes of the game, it's just you doing the same exact stuff to fend off against Puppet. And well, the ending cutscene is very psychedelic, I would say. And well, here's how the cutscene is supposed to play out.
Wow, what was that? That looked like the old place? What, is it trying to tell me something? Guess I'll go check it out because this is not good.
And then after that, the pretty long cutscene ends and we are immediately taken back to the menu, but one thing has seemed to change. It seems that now we are able to unlock the second night. So, overall, that concludes the first night section. In my opinion, the first night was pretty okay. The only thing that really seemed to hold me out from giving this night a perfect rating is how buggy this night was when I was playing it. Like, oh my gosh. My PC did not run well trying to play this game in peace. I kid you not, one time my game just straight up crashed after I got jump scared. What? Now, however, the game in general, if you put all of those quite a bit, bugs, and with a lot of them being really annoying to the side, this night is actually really good. However, if you think this night is buggy, well, let's go ahead and get on to night 2. Hello everyone, it's me about 3 months later, so I'm sorry the video was kind of bad. Honestly, I recorded this video already a good few months ago or so. I never ended up actually releasing it because it was unfinished, but like, I just never really added this final, like, end credits part. Originally, this video was supposed to have, both nights, like, the full game, but due to how long I honestly stalled for time in this video, I honestly am just going to have this in 2 parts. The second part's going to be a lot shorter, more like 8 to 9-ish minutes long, maybe, but I'm sorry about this. I really hate that I had to do this, but the editing was very poor, and I've improved since then, so I'm going to go ahead and do this in 2 separate parts. But anyways, if you're wondering where I've been taking a mental health break and so on. But however, I am back, I have returned, and I have some amazing video game reviews to talk about with y'all. So until next time, take care everyone. This is Starzy. Peace out, my dudes.